And that's what time it was too. All the way up until the moment I went home, it was antsy. It was tense. It was like, I didn't know if I was going to go home. I didn't know if my fans were going to be able to come pick me up, on such and such date when I'm coming home. That wasn't even no given. My family thinks it's a given. My family thinks I got a release date coming up. He's down there to the house, and it's like, hell no, it's on the yard. Like, someone might get killed. I might end gang of time. I might be involved in something and get some time added. I might not come home when everyone thinks I'm not coming home at all. I might come home in a body bag. You never know. You never know what might happen on these damn yards.
To have once been a criminal is no disgrace. To remain a criminal is the disgrace. I formerly was a criminal. I formerly was in prison. I'm not ashamed of that.
Well, I don't even ask. I'm gonna skip this question. I'm gonna come right to you, and I want you to talk to the audience. So, I'm gonna ask you to take the time out to talk directly to the person that grew up like us, right, in the hood, and probably don't didn't have the luxury of having a nice car, nice shoes, and made some bad decisions, right? And they bad decisions that they have made, they feel like life is over. And I want to ask you to talk to them and give them a piece of advice. What kind of advice would you give them to be able to recover, pull through, and then strive?
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. I mean, that is a powerful question. And I thought, kind of like reflecting on that, if I was really truly talking to someone, at times I do, like going into the juvenile halls, I'm talking to youngsters that are at these pivotal stages. And a lot of times I have a lot of transference. Like, I see myself in them, like, damn, that was me. Like, I'm talking to little youngsters that are just like, boom, they got family. I think one message like that would just be powerful is like, it's never too late to change. Like, a lot of people too, and they've burnt so many bridges in their life. They've been in and out of whatever stage of incarceration they're in. They burnt so many bridges, and they think like if they're giving up, they just think like it's a lost cause. I feel like it's never too late to change. Like, no matter how old you are at this point, no matter how many mistakes you've made, it's never too late. But I think it kind of goes back to like earlier too. It got to come from the heart. So if you truly want something, you will go get it, even if like opportunity after opportunity is getting shut in your face. Like, you just can't give up at the same time, because that's what allowed me to climb out of my predicament as well. So like, coming home from prison 2 times with 2 serious violent felonies on my record was hard. It was hard to transition home. I got fired from employment. It was hard. It was hard to make that transition. I was getting door after door shut in my face for job opportunities, but I never gave up. I just knew that, like, all right, man. Like, and I also had this mentality, like, if they don't want you over there, like basically fuck them. Like, if that job want to hire you, then fuck, like, you didn't want to be over there anyways. Like, why would you want to be at a job that don't want you over there anyway? Or a circle or a classroom. If that class, even in school, I've had teachers that I've gotten to altercations with verbal altercations. And now I have the luxury of, I'll just drop that class. Like, all right, I'm not going to take you. I'll take somebody else next time. So if I was really speaking to some youngster out there that was really at that pivotal stage, like, I would, that'd be the one message. Like, it's not too late to start making steps. And it doesn't have to be a 180 change, because that is not going to happen overnight as well. So you're not going to, right now I'm at a point where I want to change. I want to make it's not really lining up for me. I keep getting arrested. No job wants to hire me. I can't get into housing. Like, that's not going to change overnight. So right now, tomorrow, Thursday, it's not going to like, boom, like, all right, now everything's better for you. 180 turn, here it goes. But if you start making steps in that direction, things just start to fold in place for you. Because right now in my life, my family's always like, damn, Eric, like, things just fall in your lap, it seems. Like, the way opportunities come my way, like, it does seem like things now just fall in my lap, but it's because I worked very hard to get to this moment in life, because I didn't give up. I wasn't too old to change. It wasn't too late for me. And people counted me out. Like, people never thought I was going to come home. I was facing 3 life terms on my first term. Like, people just thought it was a wrap, especially for that charge going in. Like, who the hell is going to hire this dude with this rap sheet? So people counted me out, and I still came home. And then when I went to school, I didn't go to school to become a welder or, you know, an auto tech, although I got an old school car I'm working on. Like, I like to do that as well. I'm like, I went to school, I kind of broke the mold. Like, there's other people like me, but there's not like, it's not traditional for us to go down the academic path, the sociology, social work, the psychology realm and worlds. So I also want to become licensed in my field as well, which is going to mean going in front of a behavioral board. They're going to look at all my record. They're going to make me prove myself. I'm ready for that fight. I built myself up to fight. I feel like we fought this hard to get to this moment in life. Like, we can keep fighting, most definitely. We can get through. And that's what I would tell folks too. Like, just don't give up. And also add on as well, build up what they call social equity, social capital. So I am big on building bridges, even if I burnt other bridges in my life. Even if I cut people off, they cut me out. I burnt a bunch of bridges. I know coming home from prison, I was a networker. Because I know in prison, we networking, or whatever environment you come from the hood, from the juvenile hall, incarceration, wherever that you network, you know who got what, where it's at. And I transitioned that mentality of networking into my positive life as well. So like in school, I'm keeping in contact with teachers, with professors. If I meet somebody in the community that runs an organization, I keep in contact. I show up to their events. I start building that social capital for myself. And that is why when I added on these educational degrees, life really fell into my lap at that point because of my social. That's how I even started working out of college.
And that's good though, because what you're saying is basically like a lot of time people talk about bad luck and things like that, right? But what you're saying is what you poured into the atmosphere is starting to come back to you, right? You reap what you sow. Back in the day, you know, we was out here doing negative and we got back negative shit. But today, and you have been putting a lot of positive work in, doing a lot of great things for your community, for your family, for society, and then it comes back to you. So that's basically what you're saying there, sound like, and I like that. I'm hopefully somebody listening to that. Look, if I had a time machine, right, like Back to the Future or something, I was able to take you and put you in there and send you back and put you in front of 13-year-old Eric, right? Yeah, you go and you're in the room with him. What advice or what would you tell him?
Woo. All right, going all the way back. One thing could reflect on in this moment would be, I think this is like, I think just really talking about the consequences of action. If I was talking to a young Eric, and I kind of hit on that earlier, like I really felt like, you know, like young Eric, like a matter of fact, this even came up in my first case. I'm fighting this murder case. I have people that are like, you know, quote unquote close to me. And they're even coming up like, you know, being interviewed and they're giving statements. And I remember I'll never forget it. It was like one person was like, Eric just don't care. Eric don't care. He the one like just shrug his shoulders, like, and I'm the type of person that like, not that I don't care. I just like, I cross that bridge when I get there. Like, why am I going to sit here and fret over something in this moment now when I ain't even got there yet? So people, this I am now. The people back then was like, I'm just a shoulder shrugger and I don't care about life. I don't care about people. I don't care about consequences. Really, I just didn't think about the time because I wasn't at that bridge yet. And if I was talking to a young Eric, it would be about sitting back and practicing more patience in the sense of like, think about actually, and not just a cliche, like you need to think about what you're doing, but think about if you did like whatever you got planned on doing, whatever's about to pop up, think about if you did that, what it would look like as a consequence if you got caught. And are you ready to face those consequences? Because right now you're looking at life like you're invincible, you're not going to get caught, you know, you're going to get away with the crime because you watched all these movies or you watched other people getting away with stuff. Right now you're not even thinking about that stage. But I want you to sit back and truly reflect on what it would look like. Hypothetically, if you went and did that crime and hypothetically got caught for it, what would that look like to you? What kind of time would you be facing? What would that impact look on you at your age? How long would you end up doing? What would be the impact on your family, on your parents, on your siblings? Like, what would that truly look like in your life? And see if you would still make that same decision after thinking about all that. Not to say that you're not going to go out and think about that and still make that decision because you feel like you're ready for those consequences. But I just want you to be more aware of those particular consequences. Like I said, not that that might not even change your mind, but as long as you're aware of them and you can truly say, all right, like, I'm ready for it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get caught. I'm going to face 25 years. And you're ready to go do that, then like, go do it by my means right now. Like, oh, if that's what you feel like doing, go do it.
It brings something to my remembrance when you said 25 years. And I said it before. I remember on the street when I used to sell dope, I used to have a little gimmick, right? I had a 2 for 25, right? I had the rocks cut up already where I knew that if they brought me $25, they get 2. If they bring me $22, I would still get the same 2. If they bring me 20, I give them 1. It's just a gimmick for me to make a couple of extra dollars, right? But at the same time, I had people out there get 2 good years on the street, right? Selling the dope, ripping and running, playing with these pistols, driving crazy and all that shit, right? Then they find themselves facing 25 years. So they're 2 for 25. And it's kind of what you're saying right now. Look, think about what you're saying, looking at young man or whoever you are you willing to go do this? And if you are, or is it worth that 25 years? And a lot of times, if we really reflect, Eric, it's not worth it. It's not even close. It's not even worth 10 days.
It's not at all.
You know what I mean? But we take chances, man. Look, lastly, can you tell the people how they can reach you or Rise at the college, and tell them a little bit about some of the services that you'll have over at Rise?
Yeah, most definitely. The program's been on campus since 2016 here at Chabot College. We help you get enrolled. So we sit you down with one of our other peer mentors who are also current Chabot students. We get you enrolled. We get your financial aid filled out. We also have designated counselors for our program that are also counselors in the disability services. So a lot of us, a lot of us come home and don't really realize we got a lot of traumatic experiences, PTSDs, or other folks got learning disabilities. You don't really realize it. You weren't supported through K through 12. You don't fully understand why it takes you a little bit longer to do things. So our Rise counselors are also counselors in the disability services.
Okay.
And connect you with they're academic counselors. So we sit you there and they sit down and talk to you about your career goals. What do you want out of Chabot College? And that's when you pick your major, and they'll help you start from ground zero. So our counselors start you out in classes, but also during talking to you, if they do find out that you do qualify for some of the disability services, they get you enrolled in the DSPS program, which also allows you more time to turn in homework, longer times to do your midterms and finals. It gives you additional resources here on campus. It gives you enrollment priority. So you get the first pick for classes. A lot of services come through there. We also do the peer-to-peer mentorship. So we hire other formerly incarcerated students directly out of Rise to be student assistants, peer mentors here on campus for our program. Peer mentorship through myself. We do also a lot of high touch models. So constantly calling you. So every week you'll get either a text or an email from us checking in on you. Hey Marlo, how you been? How's class going on? So a lot of support every Tuesday during what we call college hour, which is a period from 12 to 1 on Tuesdays and Thursdays where there's not a single class going on. There are no classes that are run during those times. We do supportive check-in meetings for our Rise program during that time. Okay. Before COVID, we used to do it in person. We'd bring food. So a lot of times it was pizza, drinks. We'd all gather up as formerly incarcerated people and just chop it up, check in with each other. What doing. During COVID, we transitioned all that onto Zoom. So we continue that on. We just do it through Zoom now instead of in person. And now that we're rolling back in a limited capacity, right now we're at 25% capacity. So some classes are in person. maybe one day in person, one day on Zoom. I'm going to start doing one check-in a month in person. So, the other ones will be on Zoom, one in person. I'm getting access to a large classroom so we can all social distance and wear our masks, but they can still get that person-to-person contact that a lot of us have been missing and needing. And then in addition to services, we buy all their books for our students. So all your textbooks, which are those of you who have been to college or know people that go to college, books are expensive. Like each book can be like upwards from $80 to $120 and even more depending on the class. And when you're in 3 classes, like that bill can add up. You can walk away from a semester spending $500-600 on books. We make sure to alleviate that burden of where I'm going to get money to buy these books, even if you have financial aid. We don't want like that little bit of financial aid. It sounds like a lot, $300-600. When you space that over 4 months, it's like, that's not that much money.
Right.
It's supposed to be supportive financial support while you have a part-time job. So it's supposed to just be additional support. We don't want to take from that. So we still set you up where we get your books. Behind me here is like supplies. We got binders, paper, planners, water bottles in here. We got laptops, we got Chromebooks. We set you up with hotspots if you need them. Like, we are a full support program. We get our people taken care of. My folks tell me from the rooter to the tutor, like, boom, we get you. You don't know nothing about college, all the way through graduation. And then earlier I mentioned a couple of the university programs that are like RISE at the 4-year university. So in 1952, at San Francisco State University, there was a program that was born called Project Rebound that supports university students that have been incarcerated in their academic. They give them academic support at SF State. And that was the only program in existence that I'm even aware of in the whole nation directly supporting folks like that. And it wasn't until like 2015 time when the Underground Scholars at UC Berkeley was born there, where now both the UC and the CSU has a support program that's similar to RISE at the big university, especially UC Berkeley, one of these, the #1 public school in the world. We got support there now. We got people that have been to prison that were former RISE students that are currently up at UC Berkeley. And these 2 programs at the CSU and the UCs have now expanded up and down the state of California at other, LA State, UCLA, UC Riverside, even to UC Davis. Like, these programs are expanding up and down the state. And we are directly connected to them. So if you, Marlo, were in our program, you are getting ready to apply to that next level of university, and you're like, damn, like my whole life, growing up in Oakland, ripping and running through this whole region, I've known UC Berkeley existed right there. It was always unattainable. I never thought I was going to see myself there. When you're ready to apply to that, right, these laying your background out. We set you up with folks that are currently at UC Berkeley in their undergraduate scholars program, and they will help and guide you through writing the most powerful admission statement you can possibly get. And I think they have an acceptance rate of like 78% of people that work with underground scholars get into UC Berkeley. 78%, which is, they said comparatively, only like 20-something% of community college transfers get into UC Berkeley. Wow. So compared to the transfer rate of the school, there's like triples that. They have the triple acceptance rate when you work with folks through underground scholars. This is something that we set up through RISE. Like, we get you connected to that next level, get you to these prestigious schools. That's basically what we offer here.
So can you give them, or I'm gonna put in a link if it's all right with you, your name and your contact information. I'm thinking primarily maybe your email address. Or do you want to give me an email address that I can link in here for them to reach out to RISE or to yourself?
Yeah. So if they wanted to generally reach out to our program through email, it is riseprogram chabotcollege.edu. So then we have a cubicle. Normally we have a student there's a body in a seat at our RISE cubicle in the student services building all the time, like especially during working hours. Right now, people are still working remotely and working from home. Email would probably be best. You can we have a phone number, 510-723-7678 is our, and that's to the RISE program generally. If folks need to reach out to me, my work email is E for Eric, so Gentry @chabotcollege.edu. That reaches me directly. And then I have an office line of 510-723-7249. That I also have that number right there is just forwarded to my cell phone. So whether office or not, they can reach me there. And normally if they email me and I email them back, in my signature of the email has my full contact, my personal cell. So folks, email me and I email you back. Boom, you'll have a full way to contact me. But anyone emails me, it pings right here on my watch. I got my app on my phone. So anyone emails me, I'm gonna get the notification right there, and I'm usually very responsive. That's one thing that people like highly speak of our program, about our accessibility. Because there's other supportive programs, Merit, Laney, like people got support programs, they got solid programs. I love the fact that with and I hear from outside service providers that our program is just extremely accessible. We're very responsive. Like when if you refer a student over to me, they're going to get a contact like that day, next day. Someone's going to reach out to them before they get discouraged. They're going to instantly get assistance enrolling to school ASAP. And then from there, they're going to directly get referred over to one of our counselors, get them an ed plan, see what kind of classes they want to take. They're going to get onboarded instantly with the program. That's something that I really tout. That's something that I work very hard to do as a program. Like especially me coming from this case management background and now social work background. It's about direct care. Direct care means like meeting the person where they are, meeting them where they are, meeting the person where they're at educationally. Like we fully respond to this person's environment currently. This is what I bring to the program. So sometimes it takes a little bit of extra work. Sometimes it makes like, I got to text a student, call a student, or I got to check with one of our mentors. Like, hey, have you talked to so-and-so? Oh man, they didn't answer. Like, all right, I'm gonna reach out to them and see why they didn't answer. Like, multitude of outreach. Sometimes that's what it takes to get somebody enrolled. But what I'm not going to do is like you refer someone over and then I'm just going to refer them to somebody else. And then that somebody else might not never get to them. And then I never get to them. They don't have anyone else to reach out to. Now they're already discouraged. Like, damn, I already asked Marlo. Marlo said he had to go to college. I don't want to keep asking Marlo. You know what I mean? And then they just then they just give up. Or it's like Marlo sends someone over, Eric calls them that day just to make an introduction, even if it's not getting them enrolled that day. It's like an instant phone call. Hey, what's up? My name's Eric. I'm at Chabot College. Like Marlo said, he was going to send you my way. Like, boom, boom, boom. Are you ready to enroll now? What's your plans? From there, I'm like, all right, let me get you with one of our student assistants. You know, we'll make that connection. And then, like, you know, if a couple of days go by and they haven't been assisted, they follow up with me. I follow up, see what happened there in the miscommunication. We can make sure to bridge that gap, get them enrolled.
That's really what's up, man.
That's model.
That's what's up, man. Well, look, man, I got the hookup, man. Look, hey, listen, everybody. This is some good stuff. Hopefully, somebody take Eric up on the offer. And don't forget, if you want to be a guest on I Used to Be a Criminal, make sure you reach out to us at iusedtobeacriminal@gmail.com, and we'll do our best to get you on the show. Eric, look, man, it's been a pleasure, brother, having you on the show. I really, really thank you for taking the time out. And I want to congratulate on all the success you had so far. And I just know I can't wait to see you get that master's degree and all the other stuff that you're doing. And man, I definitely want to work with you in some capacity too, man. Utilize my service. You know, I go out and motivational speaking. So if you need me, man, holler at me.
Hey, most definitely, man. Like, and and you for all the work you've done to make your transitions home. And yeah, definitely know as myself, man, I'm not done growing, man. So I'm not the type of person that, you know, gets into a position and kind of just puts my feet up and get fat. Right. I'm a grinder. Like I'm gonna keep rocking. I'm gonna keep doing. I want to get this master's. Currently, we're building out our Santa Rita program, where we're hoping to roll that out soon, where we're going to be teaching college courses inside Santa Rita jail for the first time in that jail's history, as far as I know of. So we got some big things popping with the program, and we're just going to keep growing it, especially when I get this master's. I want to tie in that social work, that therapeutic aspect to the program.
Yes.
Because that's me, that's my focus, that's what I'm giving to the program, and that's what I give out from it.
Man, most definitely, man. Say less, man. Well, look, man, once again, thank you. Talk to you again real soon.
Most def, man. Well, all love, my brother, man. And you be good, man.
All right, you too, E.
Yes, sir. Yep.